Here's the June horoscope for 2023. When I think about June 2023 and look at the sky, it's giving me energy of us appreciating ourselves more. Let's go ahead and talk about it. June 4th, there will be a full moon in Sagittarius, pushing us to let go of any philosophies, beliefs, ideas, cultures, or any ways that we have about us that is pushed through that passion, almost like evangelistic type of energy. We're letting go of that and we're starting to think for ourselves, using our own experience, leading to our community, our siblings, and how we came about figuring things out about life. So that's kind of the vibe that's happening. There's a lot of separating aspects of this full moon, so there's a lot of reflection. Wonderful for releasing manifestations. The next day on the 5th, Venus will enter Leo and will be in Leo for a pretty long time till the fall. Okay. So this is a long time. And the reason why this is happening is because, typically Venus stays about around the sign for about a month, a little bit longer. But Venus is going to be retrograding in Leo as well. Right. And so this energy, we're basically tapping into understanding our desires and our wants and the ego behind it. Why we want the things that we want. Is it because it makes us look better, if it makes us shine, you know what I mean? Tapping more into that energy, and how our desires and our wants and the material things that we have, the money that we have, the relationships that we have, what makes it special, what makes it shine, and why we really, really want the things that we want. That's the thing that we're digging deep into. It's actually going to be an interesting placement, interesting transit, fun. Well, not fun, but Well, I say not fun because we might be a little like sensitive during this time. However, this is great for romance, well, when Venus is not retrograde, but it's great for romance when it's direct. So, have fun. The 11th is going to be a big day. Mercury is going to enter Gemini during this time. And so, Mercury is at home in Gemini. So we're going to be communicating more, learning more, talking more, having new ideas, thinking really fast, all over the place. It's going to be pretty cool. Wonderful for our social butterflies. And even if you're an introvert, this is a good time to put yourself out there because you'll notice that you'll be able to ride the wave a little bit better. Same day, Pluto is going to retrograde so far that it actually gets back into Capricorn. So we're going to be reflecting a lot about, our empowerment, the power that we have within, a lot of transformation and changes and intimacy, and how authority has a place in it. Whether the authority figures in our life or our own authority, how we kind of boss up in order to create change and in order to have power. That's going to be a thing that we're reflecting on. So it should be quite interesting. Then on the 17th, we're going to have Saturn retrograde in Pisces, right? And with that energy, we are, tapping into authority, but in a different way. We're going to look at the authority in our life to see if we're, having discipline as well as responsibility when it comes to the unseen and the unknown within our lives, right? How we are having control over that aspect of our lives. This is our feelings, this is our emotions, this is kind of like the spiritual stuff if you're into that. This is the things that we are not that privy to, like we feel that is happening but we're not quite sure. How are we having control over that aspect of our lives, right? It's going to be quite interesting too. We're going to be doing a lot of reflecting around that time, so when Saturn does go direct, we have kind of like a plan afterwards, and we've learned like okay, I these are some of the things I could have changed before, but now I'm going to move forward and have authority over these things that I can't kind of nail down, that are not tangible in my life, right? This is interesting. Next day, June 18th, we will have the new moon in Gemini. With this energy, we are having new beginnings here when it comes to thoughts and our communication, our style of communication, new ways of seeing our community and approaching our community. We're learning to think for ourselves. And it's interesting because this new moon is going to be square Neptune. And so there's going to be this essence of what's real, what's fake, how do we ascertain that? Yeah, interesting. June 21st, it will be summer solstice, aka Cancer season. And summer solstice for the northern hemisphere, but winter solstice for the southern hemisphere. Okay, I know I got some folks and towards the Tropic of Capricorn, whoop whoop. So I see you, right? For y'all it'll be winter solstice, but for us up north, it will be the summer solstice. So with this energy, with the sun at the Tropic of Cancer, it's going to be Cancer season, and we're going to be definitely expressing our emotions a little bit more. We're going to be expressing specifically our emotions, not the emotions that we're pulling off of people, and we are going to kind of express it in a way that's not necessarily cry baby that people like to pass on to cancers, but just expressing our emotions in any way, through art, through love, through romance, through anything. It's going to be quite interesting. There could be some essence of moodiness, because Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon is cyclical, so it waxes and wanes, and it's up and it's down, and it changes sign every 2.5 days, and so we're going to be feeling the ups and downs of life around that time too, and actually expressing it consciously too. So quite interesting for sure. Then Mercury will join the sun in Cancer June 27th, having us also express our emotions in a verbal way. You know what I mean? Instead of just expressing it through art, through love, through actions, we're actually going to talk about it. We're actually going to actually talk about it. I don't know why I keep saying actually twice. It's whatever. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to think about our emotions. We're going to be quite reflective on it. And we are going to even keep our emotions in mind while doing our routines and just the day-to-day things, which is really important because we need to do that, right? But there's also this energy of, you know, being cyclical in our communication, being cyclical when we do certain things, and how our moods affect those things as well, and kind of going through the motions and working through that. So that should be cool too. And then lastly, June 30th, the last day of June, Neptune is going to retrograde as well. Yes. Having us reflect on our intuition, having us reflect on spirituality, the unknown, the unseen, and how it affects us on a personal level, and how we work through those energies. With Neptune being in Pisces, it's at its vacation home, I like to say, because Pisces is ruled by Jupiter and Neptune. To me, I'm a modern astrologer, right? And so it's at its vacation home in Neptune. And, with that energy, it is, you know, it's kind of like the emotional, intuitive Wild Wild West. It kind of reminds me of the astral world or astral realm, where anything could happen. And so it's kind of like, okay, so many things are possible. How can we roll with the punches? How can we feel things out, use our intuition, use our idealisms to make things happen within our life, and how can we work through those situations as well. So it's going to be quite interesting there too. With it retrograded though, we are reflecting on these things, and we are trying to tap into our intuition more. We're trying to be aware of the unknown more. We're trying to understand, why do we idealize certain things, right? So it's going to be an interesting month, because I feel like we're seeing the real from the fake. We're balancing it. Just because it's unseen and unknown, it doesn't mean that you know it's fake, but we're trying to figure out the whys of it all. And so we're looking intuitively as well as logically to understand it, and kind of dig deep within our emotions to figure this whole thing out. So I think it's going to be interesting. I'm sorry that you're hearing all this noise in the background. Yeah, you know how it is in my neighborhood and in my home, y'all. But I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to learn more, I suggest you to go ahead and go to my article for the horoscopes for June. I wrote it something, a little blurb for each sign. Make sure you read your sun, moon, and rising, and you know where to look, all right? You know where to look to find it. Okay? So check it out. It's going to be awesome. You're going to love it. Bye bye.